A season-long battle for the National League West supremacy. It has come to the final weekend. Just 3 games to go. For the Giants and the Braves, the long, hot summer has come to this. Last night against Houston, John Smoltz did not have the Midas touch. The power of Fred McGriff was there, but the Astros' charge was too much. In Los Angeles, the Giants' relentless charge continued. Great pitching. Runs however they could get them, and a skipper who still believes. Tonight on ESPN, the great race continues. The Braves host the Rockies. The Giants visit the Dodgers, both hoping for a little help from above. They are still waiting to welcome a World Series champion in Atlanta. Will they do it this year? 159 games have been played by these two teams. Not one iota of a difference. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne, and welcome to Fulton County Stadium. The Atlanta Braves and the Colorado Rockies get set to go in the final weekend of the series. For the Atlanta Braves, a team that's 1 win shy of a franchise record set by the Boston Braves before the turn of the century. Yet despite all of those W's, Buck Martinez, this club is not guaranteed a shot in postseason play, and one gets the sense they're feeling it.
I think you're right, Gary. You know, this club has been calm as they made their way back into the pennant race and finally overtook the Giants. But this week, they're starting to feel the pressure of the Giants, who just won't go away. Wednesday night, Tom Glavine in his start came back after the 3rd inning when he gave up the lead, pounded his glove on the dugout bench. It's something you don't see Glavine do. Then last night, Ronnie Gant broke his bat on that same bench after a bad at bat. You know, this club has come back from a long way, and they have their sights set on the World Series. And the thought of not making it into the division championship is really weighing heavy on their shoulders right now.
Of course, this pitching staff at the beginning of the season was rated as one of the best all time in Major League history. Is the pressure being felt there?
You know, it looks like it is, because this staff has a very simple theory. Throw strikes and pitch ahead and don't walk anybody. But both Tom Glavine and John Smoltz have pitched from behind, and they've walked 9 batters in their 2 starts. Steve Avery is a guy that has to pitch ahead. He can't afford to pitch from behind. And if he continues to carry this trend through tonight, he'll be in trouble against a tough Colorado hitting team.
Now, the Colorado team comes in here wondering. They have played 10 games against the Atlanta Braves. They've lost every single one of them. How do you weigh that in?
Well, you got to expect that the Rockies are going to win one sooner or later. And right now, they're playing great ball. Since August 8th, they're 31-18, and they have a good hitting ball club. As I mentioned, Avery has to make sure he pitches ahead, or it could be another long night for the Braves here against a club that's due to win.
They keep talking about that World Championship. Trouble is, you got to get to the playoffs in order to do it. On the other coast tonight at Dodger Stadium, San Francisco will be taking on Los Angeles. And Joe Myers, one has the impression that maybe things aren't as tight around the Giants camp. Joe Myers, Dave Campbell will have it for you later on, live to them right now.
All right, Gary. Well, it is a loose group of San Francisco Giants. Just after talking to Bobby Bonds of the dugout, a great experience for this young team as it's game 2 of the 4 games set at Chavez Ravine. The Dodgers and their dreaded rivals, the San Francisco Giants. Joel Myers, along with Dave Campbell, maybe the most surprising aspect of what has developed down the stretch, especially over the last 2 weeks, Dave. And Gary and Buck were just talking about the lack of starting pitching recently for the Atlanta Braves, or at least the disappointment, because the San Francisco Giants have taken 12 of their last 14, and the starters have really come through in the clutch.
They have. The overall pitching staff has an ERA of 2.21 during this spell. And it's been fueled by John Burkett and Billy Swift, guys that really struggled in August and early September. But between the two of them, they are 7-0 with a 1.17 ERA, and Burkett goes tonight for the Giants.
Well, there were 36,000 here at Dodger Stadium last night for the opener. They're expecting in excess of 40,000 tonight on this Friday night affair. and a lot of noise from San Francisco fans, a real shock for Southern California fans here.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I think perhaps that it's a generational thing. The old-time Giant Dodger fans would never conceive of rooting for the other team. But I think the younger generation, they really feel that the Braves are the enemy. They're the ones that won in '82 and '91. So I think it's somewhat of an anti-Brave sentiment. And you know the California fans, and I live in California, they can kind of blow whichever way the wind goes.
And right now the wind is blowing from the desert. The Santa Ana conditions very warm in the low 90s. Willie Mays making his first road trip with the Giants. We'll find out if he's a good luck charm tonight. Let's head back to Atlanta.
Thank you, Joel. The chop shop is open. The Atlanta Braves fans are ready. The Atlanta Braves are ready. Trouble is for Atlanta, so are the Colorado Rockies. Great night of baseball. The great race coming up. ESPN's Major League Baseball is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. And by Pep Boys. For quality parts, accessories, and service, come to Pep Boys, America's automotive center.
Well, I think personally that the team got a lot of pressure on them because everybody, before the year, everybody expected them to win the division, be in the World Series, and so the pressure's there to get back.
I think what drives us the most is the fact that we want to go back to the World Series and we want to win this time. We've been there twice. Everybody knows it, but we haven't won. And I think that's what's driving us right now. We've got to win the World Series.
We're not going to go out and brag about ourselves and say that we're going to win this thing. It's just never happened that way. We've always just kind of went about our business, and it's kind of like workman. It's a workman-like attitude where we just go out and do our jobs and win ball games.
Beautiful night here at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. They'll have a full house on hand for the final weekend of baseball and the decision to be made of who goes on to postseason play. Welcome, everybody. Great to have you with us for a tremendous doubleheader. What a finish to the 1993 baseball season. These, of course, are the games in which the moments are made. The Thompson home runs, the Willie Mays catches, Bucky Dent, they become famous in games like this. So, Buck, you just wait and see what moment it's going to be tonight.
Well, the Braves fans have seen some miraculous comebacks by this Braves ball club down the stretch. You think about Ronnie Gant's 3-run home run against Cincinnati to win in the 9th inning. Fred McGriff's contribution since coming to Atlanta has been well documented, and he continues to swing the potent bat. Homered in last night's game. This ball club is a little more tense than we have seen for a while. And this club, they don't have anything to be tense about. Don Baylor told them before the game, hey, what do we have to be worried about? Go out there and have a good time.
We're in a pennant race. Let's enjoy it. Look how they've been hitting the baseball. 17-9 for Don Baylor's club in the month of September. For the Colorado Rockies, their lineup tonight. Nelson Lariano will lead it off. He'll be at second base. Joe Girardi, the catcher, bats second. The league's leading hitter, a title is his, Andres Galarraga at first base. Charlie Hayes at third base will be batting cleanup. Gerald Clark, new life, right field. He'll hit fifth. Chris Jones in center field will follow him sixth. In left field, a young veteran, Eric Young, right-handed hitter. Vinny Castilla, the shortstop, will be batting eighth. And on the mound, batting ninth, Greg Harris.
Well, Steve Avery was 2-2 in September, but in 6 starts he had 3 rough ones. Against Montreal 2 starts ago, he couldn't get out of the 4th inning. He had control problems. Anytime he does that, like any starting pitcher, he's going to struggle. He gave up 2 runs in that outing against Montreal, but then got himself straightened out last time out against the Phillies. Defensively, the Braves have committed just 106 errors. It's Gant, Nixon, and Justice in the outfield. Pendleton, Blauser, Lemke, and McGriff on the right side, and Damon Berryhill continues to work almost every day behind the plate.
Nelson Lariano takes the first pitch for a strike, and we are underway. Lariano has been around the minors and majors. He was all ready to go home after a minor league season. got the call up, and has he ever helped this ball club in the end? Batting .371. In 16 of the 19 games he's hit successfully since he joined the team. Gives them a pretty decent leadoff hitter and a switch hitter, and a guy that Avery wants to keep off base whenever he's leading off an inning. Lariano fouls it back, and Avery evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, it's interesting to watch Avery work here in this first inning. Both Glavine and Smoltz appeared to be too jacked up when they took the mound. Their adrenaline was really causing them problems. You come out on the mound and you have to be really in control of your emotions in order to allow your mechanics to be true to you and get you in the strike zone.
He's gone 3-2 on Lariano. He pops it up outside of first base. McGriff coming over will not have a play.
Well, as I mentioned, Steve Avery has been up and down his last 5 starts. 2-2, 286 ERA. That's very respectable. But the home run has been a problem for him lately. He's given up home runs in 5 of his last 8 starts.
Lariano going after the off-speed delivery, did not get it. And the 23-year-old Avery starts the game with a strikeout.
Well, he's 23, but he pitches like he's 33, throwing a 2-strike changeup to Lariano, and Nelson was way out in front. You can see how he's on that front side. He can't make contact, and that is a very important pitch for Steve Avery to throw here in this first inning.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Avery and the Atlanta Braves to have him start that way. Joe Girardi, the catcher. I told Buck Martinez, hey, a catcher batting second. Not bad.
Now, this guy's a good number 2 hitter. He's patient, handles that bat well.
He can lay the bunts down. He leads the team in sacrifice bunts, and he's a good man on the hit and run. So even though he's a catcher, he is a number 2 hitter, legit one.
Well, you see what he's done. He's hitting like a catcher in his last 11 games.
Avery's got an 0-2 count on him, and the fastball misses down low.
Let me tell you, Avery's got a little extra hop in his fastball tonight.
Avery coming in with the 5th best ERA in the National League, 2.93. Mark Lemke. 2 down.
Bobby Cox has really suffered through the last 2 games of that Astros series. His pitchers, as he said, were pitching like they were in a scoreless tie most of the time. Very tentatively, very defensively. So far, Avery hasn't shown any of that.
He's got the first 2 outs. Now he faces the league's leading hitter. Andres Galarraga has officially qualified with the number of at-bats needed, 376. And by getting those at-bats, he moves ahead of Tony Gwynn at 358. Galarraga's going to win the National League batting title. Fouls that one straight back. What a feat, not only for Galarraga personally, but for an expansion team to have the league's leading hitter on it.
Well, it's a little different expansion team than we've seen in the past, but it's still a remarkable year for Galarraga, who's had a dramatic comeback.
Turn that one over. Avery letting the chase 1 ball and 2 strikes.
One thing I'm seeing right now in the first inning is Avery is working awfully quickly, and even more quickly than normal. He might have to slow down a bit.
1-2 delivery.
He's working so quickly, and you can see he's so jacked up that he might wear himself out.
He is going at it. 2-2 delivery to Galarraga, and he takes the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Opposition hitting .264 off Avery this season. He's given up 13 home runs. Left-hander to Galarraga towards the gap. Gant moving over, has got time. That's the kind of start he wanted and the Braves wanted for him. Otis Dixon leads it off in center field. Jeff Blauser, he has rocked Colorado this season, bats second. Ron Gant's in a slump right now at the plate, batting third. Fred McGriff isn't. He'll bat clean up at first base. Neither is this man. David Justice in right field, left-handed hitter following McGriff. Terry Pendleton, the switch hitter at third base. Damon Berryhill's working behind the plate. He'll be batting seventh. Mark Lemke at second base will bat eighth, and on the mound, you have seen Steve Avery.
Now, Greg Harris makes his first start against the Braves as a Rocky. He made 2 starts as a Padre coming over here. This is his 35th game of the season, 11-16, and he says he's a little bit tired, worn out. That has led to the 32 home runs, along with the light air in Colorado. He's a breaking ball pitcher that has to get that pitch over, and then he spots his fastball.
And he wants this so bad tonight. Talking with him before the game, Harris, all business. Moving in at third base, Charlie Hayes, with Otis Nixon leading it off. Off-speed breaking ball is in for a strike. There you see Hayes, who's way in at third base. Nixon, who can lay him down. Hayes wants another glove. Charlie Hayes gone over to the dugout, just threw that glove back in and got a new one.
Well, good thing nothing was hit to him.
Yeah. Looked like the webbing had come out on that. The 0-1 delivery to Otis. He's trying to lay one, drags it down the line. Harris can't get him. There is the perfect drag bunt, and you don't see many guys who do that anymore. That's his 8th bunt single.
Well, you can see that's what he's done since '91, 48 of them, and he takes it right with him and hits it off the end of the bat and really kills it. Once it gets on that grass, no one has a chance, although Harris makes a fine play on it, but it's just too late at first base.
And now Otis Nixon poses the threat to steal a base or the potential hit and run. 47 stolen bases for Otis Nixon. He is behind only Chuck Carr, who leads the league, and Marquise Grissom, who has 52. You see 4 straight seasons he's gone up over 40, and 6 of the last 7 he's had over 40 stolen bases. He's got a pretty good lead on Harris. Galarraga holding the bag.
Harris is pretty good holding runners close. He's quick over to first base, and he'll vary his deliveries. He'll make Otis wait at first.
Jeff Blauser waiting at the plate. Blauser can move the ball around. Did not show bunt as Harris stepped off. Charlie Hayes has moved in at third base again in case he does lay one down. Blauser checking. Jimmy Williams, the third base coach, with the signs.
And Gary, you mentioned Girardi hitting number 2. Jeff Blauser might be one of the better number 2 hitters in all of baseball. He allows Otis Nixon several pitches, give him a chance to steal second.
Blauser will take. Harris gets it in for the strike. Blauser this season has picked up 5 sacrifices. Jimmy Williams telling him whether they want another one here or not. He has grounded into only 12 double plays this season. That batting average of .304, one of the many career numbers he's putting up. Otis Nixon.
Ooh, he had a good shot at it.
He was stepping towards second on the throw.
Take a look how quick Harris is. Otis got caught in between. Dance and Galarraga with the quick tag makes the appeal to the umpire. Bill Hahn at first.
Thought he had him. That may cut his lead down, or at least change the direction of his lean. 0-1 count on Blauser. Nixon, who likes to walk those leads off. Talked about that before. You get some base stealers who like to get the big lead and hold it. You get others who like to walk it off. They never stop moving. They just keep creeping the lead up.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson's a creeper. He'll creep right off of there, and if you don't make him stop, you don't have a shot at all.
Nixon not going. Blauser towards second base. Lariano, Castilla got the out at second, but Otis Nixon going in hard prevented Vinny Castilla from being able to get that throw off on the pivot. Good play by Nixon.
Boy, those are the things that kill you. Donnie Baylor got a routine double play ball, and they can't turn 2 on that one. No problem at all with this play. Look at the little flip from Lariano. It's perfect, but Castilla can't find the handle. It doesn't go down as an error, but that certainly cost the Rockies an out. Well, that puts pressure on Harris now. He got the ball he was looking for.
Should have the bases empty. Doesn't get it. Blauser on at first base, and here's Ron Gant. And Blauser now draws the attention. He's got 16 stolen bases. See the numbers on Ron Gant. Career highs, home run, RBIs. Just an outstanding season, but of late has gone into a bit of a slump. Takes the pitch down low. He would love to come out of it here in this final 3-game set on the weekend. And who knows, maybe a playoff game to follow on Monday. He had a great first half of September and then cooled off the latter part of it. Harris making sure the base runners stay close. Was the old cover of Sports Illustrated jinx again, Buck?
Yeah, it got him big time. He was hot. He had driven in 21 runs in 9 games, and so they put his picture on SI.
He dropped below 200. 1-0 count. Harris to Gant. This is up high. 2 balls, no strikes. Want to remind you, we have 2 great ball games coming your way. As soon as this one is complete, we take you to Dodger Stadium, and the other team involved in this National League Western Division race, the San Francisco Giants, will be taking on the Dodgers in Game 2. The Giants won the first one 3-1 behind Billy Swift. 4-game set for those 2 teams. He'll be watching. He hasn't had a lot of sleep over the last week. You can see the jaw moving. Blauser off first. 2-0 count, 1 away. Harris's breaking ball. He gets it in.
Gary Harris is the type of pitcher that will throw you that breaking ball in fastball counts. He recognizes that he doesn't have an overpowering fastball, and he's got a good curveball. So he basically pitches backwards, and he has to do that to survive. But when he gets that breaking ball over, he can really be tough. He's only won 1 game since being traded to Colorado.
Came from San Diego. It has been a disappointment for him. I think even more so for him than for the team. He really wanted to do so well. 1-7 with a 6.10 ERA in 12 starts since joining Colorado. He's 11-16 overall in the season. Gant waiting. 2-1 count. There's the breaking ball again. A little more on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gant. 1 down here with Blauser on first, and the turning point. Fred McGriff waiting on deck.
Well, he hit .500 against the Astros. 2 homers and drove in 4.
Harris again will hold Blauser. Buck, we were talking about the advertisement that was taken out regarding Harris when he came. That put some pressure on him.
Yeah, there was an advertisement in Colorado papers that talked about Greg Harris trade, saying we made this trade for you, meaning the fans. It's an awful lot of pressure to put on one guy.
Yeah, that didn't mean they wanted to win the division, but they certainly thought they were going to have a chance to pick up some more wins by acquiring him, and as you see, it just hasn't worked out that way. Baylor still has great faith in him, however, because he is a competitor, and the fact he hasn't done better is hurt. 2-2 again. The off-speed breaking ball. We're just getting variations of the off-speed curve here. 3-2.
Now he's liable to throw one here, 3-2, because he has so much confidence in it. Blauser at first base, as Gary mentioned, has good speed, so he might be running on the pitch.
It's a battle between Blauser and Gant to see who he's going to throw to. Harris has thrown home 9 times and thrown to first 8 times. 3-2 count. Blauser is running. Gant breaking ball bounces. Blauser makes the turn. He'll not go to third. Ball bouncing behind on ball 4. That's all it will end up being. Gant is on first and second. 1 out.
Well, they went with the breaking ball. He threw it in the dirt. Girardi couldn't corral it, but it wouldn't have made any difference. He held the runner at second anyway.
And the chant begins. There's the reason why. Fred McGriff. First and second occupied. 1 out. He's had the long ball going of late. McGriff with 37 home runs, 4th in the league in homers. He is 9th right now in RBIs. As we said, he's made it for the Braves since coming over. They're hitting 35 points higher as a team since he joined this club. Virtually everybody else in the lineup has improved offensively since he arrived. Fortuitous or not, and it's probably not, he's the center of attention. Avery knows it. His pitcher watching, hoping to get some runs off Greg Harrison the first. It's a 3-0 count.
Got to give him the green light. He's got a great eye at the plate.
But he'd like to have some help early on. 3-0 delivery. He never showed him a strike. The bases are loaded.
Well, Greg Harris pitched in winter ball, pitched in spring training, and now during the season he's pitched over 300 innings. And Don Baylor's aware that he might just be running out of gas here in the last weekend of the season. He knows that Harris has that bulldog mentality. He wants to stay in the ball game. He's going to go out and have a talk with him, maybe get his emotions in check and get him back in the strike zone.
Harris was very concerned before the game. It is no secret that the arm is tired because of all those innings pitched when this season's added on to winter ball. And he said, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be able to approach this game. I've got to be able to nip the corners, and I've got to get the breaking ball by him. Blauser, Gant, McGriff, Justice at the plate, full house. There's the off-speed pitch in for a strike. What a dangerous situation first inning. Justice 6 for 14 with the bases loaded. Mercy. And no grand slam among those hits. 0-1 by Harris. Drill to right center field, base hit. Blauser scores. Gant coming around. Jones will make the play to second base. McGriff goes to third. 2-0 Braves. Justice, the RBI leader, now has 118 to go ahead of Barry Bonds.
Well, he got a curveball, and watch where it is, out over the plate, and he goes right with it and rips it into center field. He complained about the previous pitch being high, but he stayed on that hook and drives in two. Now he's got 118 on the season and leads the league.
He and Bonds were tied before that base hit. Now Terry Pendleton, the switch hitter. First and third occupied, 1 out. The fastball this time misses, ball 1. This is the problem that Greg Harris has had all season. He's been scored on coming into this game in 6 of the 7 losses he's suffered. In the first inning, 12 runs off him. And he's given up 2 more already here and is far from out of it.
Well, Gary, that'll happen when you're a finesse pitcher, and it takes you a while to find the strike zone because you have 2 or 3 different breaking balls and you spot the fastball. Sometimes it takes you an inning before you really zero in on the strike zone.
Larry Bernard, the pitching coach with a jacket on, and a long season for him, a staff that has really struggled. Terry Pendleton fouls it back, a ball and 2 strikes. Bernard is as good a pitching coach, personal opinion, as anyone in baseball, but he just has not had the talent to work with, and they've really had to juggle the group they've had for pitching and find out where they can slot them.
Well, the second half of the season has been better, particularly in the bullpen, and that has something to do with their good record since August.
2 who work together well, Baylor and Bernard, as Don Baylor went over to ask certainly about Greg Harris. 1-2, take to third. McGriff's not going anywhere. Justice not going anywhere off first.
Let's don't forget that Greg Harris got a double play ball that was bobbled by Vinny Castilla. He made a good pitch and got a ball that should have been 2.
Ended up being 1 and kept somebody on base. Pendleton, left field, base hit in front of Young. That'll score the 3rd run as Fred McGriff crosses the plate. Terry Pendleton makes it a 3-0 Braves lead. '76 RBIs for Pendleton, and Bernard's on the bullpen phone. Justice stopped at second. 3 hits, all singles, but a couple of walks have added to this inning. Those 2 walks, Gant and McGriff, have already scored. Damon Berryhill takes the pitch inside for a ball. Berryhill, a switch hitter. 282 right, 233 left. But 6 of his 8 home runs have been hit left-handed. Greg Harris slowing it down even more with Willie Blair in the Colorado pen. The fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Buck, this is what Greg Harris before the game was not scared about, but he was worried that this was what was going to happen, that he wouldn't be able to get them off their rhythm in the 1st inning, and it would cost him dearly, and it has.
Yeah, he took a while to get that breaking ball zoned in. Those 2 walks came back quickly.
Long run for Young, who is playing over. He hauls it in. Runners halfway will go back. Tried to double it up at second base. Ball bounces away, but nobody's going anywhere. Berryhill retired. 2 down. Justice remains at second. Pendleton at first. Eric Young was playing over in the gap towards center. He had a long way to go to get to that ball that otherwise would have been fairly simple to play. 2 down, 3 runs in. 8th man up in the inning is Mark Lemke. He's a switch hitter. 309 right-handed, 234 left. Has belted a couple of home runs from this side. Harris trying to get out of it without further damage. Gives that big sweeping breaking ball into the strike. Lemke 1 for 7 in his career against Greg Harris. Most of these Atlanta Braves have faced Harris when he was pitching for San Diego. Fastball to first. Galarraga's got time, and that will do it. And you wonder how big that bobble double play ball was. 3 runs in on 3 hits, 2 left. Battle here in Atlanta starts out with the Braves up 3-0. And Avery goes to work with the lead here in the 2nd inning. He's got Charlie Hayes, Clark, and Jones. Hayes has played a solid third base. Colorado Rockies. He's done pretty well against Avery. 5 for 15 with a couple of home runs off him in his career. Career highs, home runs and RBIs for him as he goes for that 100 RBI season. Chopped. Foul. Charlie Hayes finally found a home. Looked as though he was going to be the third baseman for the New York Yankees a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was a big surprise they let him go. He had a fine year in New York, and there his name was on the expansion list.
Colorado didn't mind. He had an 8-game hitting streak, ended on Wednesday. The Rockies had the day off yesterday, batting .382 in his last 9 games. And he's tied with Lenny Dykstra for the league lead in doubles with 44. Avery's delivery to him. He's got that big roundhouse cut too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Greg Harris will go back and rethink the strategy for this game and wonder if there's some other way to pitch to the Braves.
I think you saw later on in the inning he got his curveball where he wanted to and made him a little more effective.
Justice moving over, foul territory off that mound. They can't play it. Great doubleheader of baseball for you here on ESPN tonight. The other half of this matchup in the National League West, the San Francisco Giants taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Game 2 of their series. John Burkett 21-7 and Ramon Martinez 10-11 are the scheduled starters. Joe Myers, Dave Campbell are there. They'll have it for you. Of course, the Giants will know where they stand. Down the line, fair ball, rolls into foul territory. Hayes is going to take the league lead in doubles. That is his 45th of the season. And the leadoff man on in the second inning for the Rockies.
Before you think about this Rocky team packing its bags and leaving, remember they've hit .313 for the month of September and scored almost 5.5 runs a game. They can swing the bats. And Charlie Hayes is one of the leaders in that department.
That's what he's been doing all season, busting that ball down the line. So he's on at second base, and Gerald Clark coming up. Clark's batting .342 in his last 18. He's been hot. No play at second base. Blauser was moving over. Hayes dove back into the bag. Hayes has got to play it safe. The club down here, 3 runs in the second inning. Steve Avery, fastball right by him. Here you see the numbers he's put up against Avery in his career. And he pushes that one down the right field line. Justice moving over. Hayes tagging. Justice throws all the way into Pendleton.
You don't think the Braves are pumped up?
Extra adrenaline in the field and in the seats. Tom Mays.
Gary, that heavyweight fight in Wales.
Leading 3-0. 1 down. Hayes on at second base, and Chris Jones. See the numbers that Jones has put up on the season. He's got an RBI opportunity here. Jones is playing in just his 9th game, down to third. Terry Pendleton, fair ball, holds Hayes. Two down.
With Charlie Hayes at second base and nobody out, Gerald Clark lifts a fly ball down and toward the right field corner. Look at Justice. He's fairly deep in right. Hayes bluffs off second base, and look at this throw all the way on the fly to Terry Pendleton at third. It's one aspect of Justice's game that's picked itself up. This is defensive play in the outfield.
Actually, not a good throw.
No, too high.
He missed the cutoff, man.
Too pumped up.
Certainly sure looks good, though,
yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah. Makes a statement, shall we say. Eric Young, another hot hitter, .415 in his last 17 games. You see how these Rockies have been on fire at the plate. But they're facing Steve Avery. 2 down. Hayes still on at second. 3-0 lead for the Braves. This is an outstanding nucleus offensively for the Colorado Rockies. They put up some incredible numbers this season. And they come into this game third as far as team batting average is concerned. They're right up there among the top 5 in runs. But the pitching is a last in about everything. Broken bat towards center field. Charlie Hayes makes the turn at third. Otis Nixon makes the play to the plate. Not in time. Didn't hit the cutoff man. Down to second base. There we go. Goes Eric Young. And it is a 3-1 ball game. Young, a broken bat RBI single. Nixon missed the cutoff man, and that cost him a base.
And Bobby Cox was upset by that. This is a little broken bat blooper over the infield. Now watch Nixon. He charges hard, but with 2 outs, Charlie Hayes got a good break. Look where Hayes is at already. He misses McGriff. It goes all the way to Berryhill, and then he slings it back toward the screen. But I'm sure Coxey's not too pleased with that throw by Nixon right there. He moves that additional runner into scoring position.
42 RBIs for Young as he gets the Rockies on the board. And here's Vinny Castillo. He takes the breaking ball from Avery down low. I would like to see official scorers be allowed to charge an error on that throw.
Just because it was unplayable.
It cost him a base.
Yeah.
You know, they say in baseball, for every move of a base runner, you've got to have some marking in your scoreboard. Well, the marking for that runner going from first to second should be E8.
And now it's just he advances on the throw.
Advances on the throw. 1-1. That one up the middle, bounced off the mound, base hit, making the turn. Young, he's going to score. And the Rockies are right back in it. Vinny Castilla picks up his 30th run batted in of the season. And that's what happened when that cutoff throw was not made properly.
Those simple things, the Braves haven't been making those types of mistakes all year long, but this week they're showing up. Castilla hurt the Braves early in the season with some hits, and right here he picks up a big one to chase home the base runner from second base with 2 outs. Eric Young shouldn't have been at second base in that situation.
A rally here to make it a 1-run ball game, and here's Greg Harris. And Harris pumps that one to right field. That's where they were playing him, though. And it'll be hauled in by Justice. He almost got that to the warning track. But both Justice and Nixon were clumped in over there. 2 runs in on 3 hits for the Rockies. A 3-2 game. Take a close look. This is the final weekend of the '93 season, and the Colorado Rockies are trying to inflict some damage on the Atlanta Braves. They did against the Giants by splitting the 2-game set out there. Avery leads it off against Harris. Chops that one right back to him. Greg Harris. Avery's retired, 1 down in the 2nd inning.
It's a great feeling for a pitcher that has struggled in the 1st inning to have his offense come back and score 2 runs. Now all of a sudden he's got a little more energy, a little more enthusiasm out there, and he's had the ability to throw a few pitches and get the feel for the breaking ball.
And he is a battler. I mean, he will stay out there, and if he's got anything to throw, he'll throw it. Otis Nixon dragged a bunt down the first baseline his first time up. Harris, ball 1. You don't see the drag bunt very often in the game anymore. I'm not sure even a lot of people know what it is. When you carry that ball with you as a left-handed batter down the first baseline, just drag it along beside you, as Nixon did his first time up. So long as you can keep the ball with you about halfway down the line, you got a hit.
Yeah, I think AstroTurf has done a lot to eliminate drag bunters because the ball goes too hard on the AstroTurf and gets to the first baseman too quickly.
And with the third baseman playing in, as you saw Hayes, Nixon's better chances to go to first.
This is a perfect drag bunt. He hits it right on the end of the bat and drags it with him, and it dies in the grass.
Boy, he can still run. Harris catches the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nixon.
He has so much confidence in that drag bunt. He tried to do that with 2 outs in the last game of the World Series with the Braves down to the Blue Jays.
Otis Nixon, 2-2 count. 1 down, nobody on. He is getting that high strike from Brian Gorman, a young umpire, and that's making a big difference for Harris. Tom?
All right.
Know how those officials score in boxing. Greg Harris misses outside with a breaking ball. 2 down, bases empty. Here's Jeff Blauser. Get into a fielder's choice on what should have been a double play ground ball and ended up opening up that first inning. And 3 runs were scored by the Atlanta Braves, who lead at 3-2. Harris misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Blauser 6 for 21 with 1 home run in his career off Harris. Let's see what a season he's had in crossing the plate for the Braves. Check, swing, foul ball.
Early in the season, when the Braves were just kind of plodding along, Jeff Blauser was their most valuable hitter, consistently driving in key runs, and Bobby Cox has said that his play at shortstop has been outstanding all year long.
Good breaking ball.
Now you're starting to see Harris throw that pitch where he wants to. Started out on the outside corner and drops it right on the corner at the knees.
29-year-old right-hander with a 2-2 count on Blauser does it again and gets it, and Blauser knew it. That's the kind of inning you get from Greg Harris when he's on. 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts.
Bob and John Smoltz sitting on the Braves bench. You know, if Glavine has to pitch Sunday on 3 days rest. His start on Wednesday, he threw 134 pitches.
Toward short. Jeff Blauser. A little trouble getting that one out. Laureano is retired. On the way here in the 3rd inning. What this final weekend is all about. Atlanta and San Francisco dead even with only 3 games left to go. The Dodgers, of course, taking on the Giants. You will see that game in the second half of our doubleheader. The Giants and Dodgers. Burkett against Ramon Martinez. And the decision will be made this weekend, or there'll be a playoff game on Monday. And if there is a playoff game on Monday, you will see it on ESPN at 7:30 Eastern or 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, as they will play it on the West Coast.
And John Smoltz will start that game for the Braves.
That's if there's a playoff game Monday night. ESPN will have that. And if Sunday's game matters between San Francisco and Los Angeles, we will also have that game on. That is a scheduled 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific on Sunday if the game matters. Giants and Dodgers. Fouled off. Girardi, 1 down, nobody on.
Gary, that playoff game on Monday would have to start so late because the 49ers are home on Sunday. And Candlestick Park will be in the football configuration, and they physically can't get the ballpark converted back to baseball to play it any earlier.
And he's on. Steve Avery, who has walked only 42 in 218 innings, walks Joe Girardi with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Now Andres Galarraga, the big cat, formerly, of course, with the Montreal Expos, and as he loved Mile High Stadium and about everywhere else. If you take a look at his stance, Don Baylor changed his stance, moved it to the open variety, on knowing at the time that he wore contacts. Galarraga, when he got his head turned around, suddenly said, I can see the baseball. I never saw the ball this well until I got both eyes turned to the mound. He said, my back eye is my stronger eye. And so now that I've opened it up, I'm seeing the ball twice as well as I ever have in my career.
Gary, a lot of guys that wear glasses have their head like this so they can get both eyes on the pitcher. And Galarraga with contacts, of course, has the same concerns, but he never thought about it. So Baylor opened him up, squared him around, and all of a sudden that ball looks a lot wider and a lot bigger.
A national batting title. Not a bad move. Galarraga flied to left his first time up. Fouls that one back on the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on him.
You know, Gary, Don Baylor had an awful lot of confidence in Galarraga's ability to bring his hitting back when he was the batting instructor in St. Louis. They were both together there last year, and he liked his work habits and he liked his stroke. So he said, well, if I can get this guy every day in Colorado, I think we can work together and do something.
Well, he certainly wasn't wrong on that one. Breaking ball, foul back again. Galarraga and Hayes both are pushing for 100 RBIs. No expansion player has ever done that first season. They've already set the record with 98 RBIs each. And no expansion player has ever won a batting title. Galarraga's got a shot at that. Hayes is waiting on deck. Both he and Galarraga have a shot at 100 RBIs. A good shot at it. 1-2 pitch. Avery's got his hands on his hips. He wanted that call, didn't get it.
Yeah, this is a breaking ball, and he thought caught the inside part of the plate. Look at Berryhill slide inside. Well, I don't know if I don't agree with Avery there. That don't look like it caught most of the plate. Uh-oh.
They got him picked off. Girardi got picked off. He was running on the pitch. The tag is put on by McGriff. That's
the 15th base runner Steve Avery has picked off this year. That leads the league, of course, and Girardi going on Avery's first move is an easy out for the Braves. As soon as he picks up that foot, he's off, and he knows he's hung up now. Jeff Blauser runs him back to Fred McGriff, who puts the tag on him.
Perfectly executed as he leads in pickoffs. Fouled off by Galarraga, so that clears the bases. 2 down and a 2-2 count. Girardi won't make him feel any better. They get picked off by the best in the league, but that's what happened. Avery with a 2-2 delivery. Breaking ball down low, full count. Well, that's certainly helping yourself. 3-2 delivery. Galarraga chops it to third. Terry Pendleton. Ball had some get up on it. He's got him. So he faces only 3, even though he gave up a walk with that pickoff. Atlanta up by 1. And Gant leads it off against Greg Harris. Gant, McGriff, and Justice due up, with Atlanta leading it by 1, 3-2, as we're in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Gant hitting .366 with 4 home runs against Colorado pitching this season. Part of an enormous attack mounted by the Braves in going 10-0 against Colorado. They have outscored them, including the runs in this game, 87-44. And they came into this game hitting .306 against the Colorado Rockies with 22 home runs in 10 games. Right field line. Trying to step back on that one. It didn't get all of it. Clark moves over, and Gant's retired. 1 down in the 3rd. Want to remind you, ESPN's coverage of college. Fred McGriff had a walk and scored his first time up. Takes the pitch in the outside corner for a strike. McGriff now with 108 runs scored this season is 4th in the league. Lenny Dykstra leads the league in runs with 142.
Gary, what the Rockies are going to try to do with Fred McGriff is throw him the fastball and try to keep it above his belt. They watched what Harnish did to McGriff on Tuesday night, and he really had his number. They're going to try to stay away from anything down. That's the pattern right there. Straighten him up inside and then hopefully get him to chase something. But boy, oh boy, he's deadly with anything down around the knees.
And out over the plate where he can get those arms like there, he can drive it. Girardi working behind the plate with Harris. Breaking ball. Great off-speed pitch to him. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, they set him up by busting him inside with a fastball and then dropped this big hook. Good pitch, and all of a sudden Harris has the touch for that curveball. Tries to go back door.
Not a bad idea. 5 of the first 6 batters of the game reached against Greg Harris. Since then, he has retired 6. Justice waiting on deck. 3-2 the count on Fred McGriff. Just missed inside with it, but not giving in. Harris, though, has walked 3. 1 here in the 3rd with 1 out, puts McGriff on. That will bring up David Justice to try and move him around. Justice now leading the league in runs batted in. He delivered 2 with a single in the first inning. 118 on the year. 1 down, and the fastball away, outside, ball 1. He was tied with Bonds before that first inning base hit. A real battle in the final weekend for that RBI crown in the National League. 1-0 delivery. Batting title is going to go to Galarraga. The home run derby, unless Justice puts on a real spurt, will be won by Barry Bonds, who's got 44. Justice with 39. There's the man who's going to take the title, Galarraga. And there's the man who's got a shot at the RBI crown. Greg Harris with a 2-0 count.
Well, the first time up, Justice saw a couple of curveballs from Harris. Hit the second one into center field. This time Harris is sticking with the fastball, and that time Justice looked like he might have been thinking breaking pitch because he was late on that heater.
2-1 count. Didn't get the high strike on that one. 3 balls and 1 strike. Justice this season is part of that power against the Colorado Rockies. 18 RBIs in 11 games against Colorado. No napping by McGriff at first, who didn't have the big lead. Steps back.
He didn't want that pitch. He whistled to Girardi. Hey, let's try something else. I don't like that idea.
You know he doesn't want to challenge him with a fastball in the strike zone. 3-1. The breaking ball, and he walks it. So 4 walks now, and Harris gets himself in trouble again as he walked McGriff the first time up. Did again here. Justice got a single off him the first time. Now he walks Justice. 2 on, 1 out. Boy, if he came in tired already, how far is he going to be able to go throwing the number of pitches he's already throwing?
I think the adrenaline of the night might carry him for quite a while. After that first inning, it looks like he's had pretty good command. What's hurt him in this game, and it's been the pattern since he's come to Colorado, has been his fastball. He hasn't been able to spot it in the strike zone. He got behind Justice at missing with the fastball.
We are delighted to have you with us as the great race is covered here on ESPN. First half of our doubleheader tonight with the Braves and Giants tied for first. You're seeing the Braves. The Giants and Dodgers will follow. Terry Pendleton, first ball hitting. Deep center field. Jones back at the wall. Goodbye. Home run. Terry Pendleton. $17 on the season. No question about that one. Damon Berryhill pops it up to short. Castillo puts it away for the second out.
How many times do you see a pitcher throw a get-ahead fastball after a pitching coach comes to the mound, and Pendleton was sitting all over it? There's the reaction from Harris as he can't believe that ball sails out of the ballpark. A 3-run home run to Terry Pendleton. Larry Bernard had just gone to the mound. Pendleton made a note of that, was expecting to get a strike, got it, and hit it out of the yard.
33 home runs have now been given up by Greg Harris this season. Larry Bernard wondering maybe I shouldn't have gone out there after all. It is a 6-2 lead for the Braves. 2 down, the base is empty. Lemke up. So Pendleton is now homered and singled in this game, the most in the National League in homers surrendered. And Pendleton adds 3 more RBIs to his output. He's up to 78 on the season.
Fastball up, that's the pitch he hit. That's what he's telling his buddies on the bench.
Lariano at second base. Over to Galarraga. Lemke is retired, but not before 2 walks and a home run by Terry Pendleton have given the Atlanta Braves a 6-2 lead. One here tonight. Terry Pendleton will get off to a slow start this season, but has he ever regrouped? Buck, you were just mentioning, a guy like that takes some heat off some of these other big sticks.
Yeah, the old veteran comes through the last week of the season with a big hit right there, a 3-run homer.
Avery goes to work now against Hayes, who doubled and scored in the second inning. And Steve Avery's getting some run support in this ball game with a 6-2 lead. 6 runs on 4 hits for the Braves. That's because 4 walks surrendered in this game by Harris have all scored. It's taking advantage of your base runners. Avery misses up high. 2 balls and 1 strike on Charlie Hayes. Colorado needs base runners. Popped it up behind the mound. Everybody's in. McGriff at first. On the mound. Drops it. Hayes is on. And you can see that one coming. Nobody took charge of the traffic around the mound. And Bobby Cox is going, why do we keep opening this door?
This is not Atlanta Braves baseball. They have made some mistakes defensively in the field, and Fred McGriff commits his 17th error of the season. You're right, Gary. Nobody really took charge. They're all kind of converging on the mound. But McGriff calls it. You can see that he calls for it, but then it hits him on the heel of the glove. Pendleton, all the way across the mound, was ready to make the play, but then pulls his hands out of the way.
Well, let's see if the Rockies take advantage of it. Gerald Clark fly it out to right. Generally, Buck, somebody in spring training, you decide who the traffic cop's going to be in the infield, right?
Oftentimes when you have both the first baseman and the third baseman converging on a pop-up around the mound, it's a pitcher. He'll take over and pull one of the infielders out of the way and call McGriff's name. But Pendleton had his beat on it. He could have made the play.
I'm not sure Avery knew who he wanted to call for it, so I don't think he did.
Well, McGriff was so positive about his call, everybody backed off. He was real vocal, saying, I got it, I got it. You're going to hear him all the way up here.
Avery with a breaking ball, missing down low. Colorado has struggled against left-handers this season, 14-25 against left-handed starters. So here you are facing the left-hander with the 5th best overall ERA in Steve Avery. Not an easy task. Down 6-2 already. But they do get the break here, getting that leadoff man on base for the 2nd time in 4 innings, this time via the error. He's going after his 50th career win already, just 23 years old, 49-36. Gerald Clark will have to wait. Good quick throw.
Well, that's a little different look from Avery as he stepped directly back off the rubber and then fired from the side. Trying to catch Hayes napping. Remember, he already caught Joe Girardi off first.
Charlie Hayes will with a short lead. This is outside, trying to stay away from Clark, and has been outside on 3 of them. 3-1. Clark not chasing. Three balls, 1 strike. Went after the high fastball to shallow right. Justice. Got that one. Clark's retired. 1 down here in the 4th inning. Don't forget the great race. If this game matters on Sunday, you will see it right here on ESPN. 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific. The Giants and Dodgers. Final game of the regular season, and it will be shown in Los Angeles if the game matters to the race. That's Sunday afternoon. Right now, the 2 teams tied with identical records. The Braves and the Giants. The final 3 games of the season. Chris Jones grounded out his first time up. He takes the pitch up high. 1 down, 1 on. And a 1-0 count on Jones. That one bounced. He swung on that one when it bounced about 5 feet in front. 2nd time that Blair has been up for the Rockies. May mean they've already made a decision about Harris. We'll see. 6-2 lead for Atlanta. Chases the screwball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, I mentioned to Don Baylor before the game how the Braves pitchers, the walks have been a problem for them lately. And he said, we don't have to worry about that. Our guys don't walk. They're free swingers.
They are that. Avery the checker first and will throw over. Chris Jones has had a struggle against Avery in his chances. He's 1 for 12 against this left-hander. And Avery looks like he's got his number on that breaking ball that goes down and away. It's Scroogey impact. He's setting up for it right there as he brushes him back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 92-mile-an-hour gas.
Well, that's what he tries to do. Then he'll set that changeup down and away. Let's watch where Berryhill goes here. There's the changeup. He wants it down and away.
Got that one in a little too close, deep to left field. Ron Gant back at the wall. Goodbye home run. A 2-run homer picked up by Chris Jones on a 2-2 count. He wanted it down and away, but he got it over the plate. And the Rockies come back again. 2 more on the board. It's 6-4.
Well, there's a pretty good job of preparation by the Rockies hitters. Avery busts them inside with a fastball and then wants the changeup down and away. Look at this pitch. It wasn't a bad pitch. But Jones had a pretty good idea. He might be getting the changeup. That's Avery's bread and butter. Gant goes up on the wall, but can't come up with it.
6 home runs on the season for Chris Jones, and only his 2nd hit ever against Steve Avery. And Jones has made it a 6-4 ball game. Well, these teams are taking advantage of opportunities, both of them. Remember, the error started the inning. Justice and right on Eric Young's fly ball. He puts it away.
Well, Charlie Hayes reached on McGriff's error, and he scores. That's just the 51st unearned run that the Braves have allowed. They don't make that many mistakes, and generally when they do, the pitchers are so good they can overcome them. For comparison's sake, the Rockies have allowed 106 unearned runs. A lot of errors, and then the pitchers can't do anything about it.
2 down. That one sliced down the right field line by Castilla. It is a foul ball. That was close.
Well, you know, Gary, the ball right down both lines in this ballpark really carries. There are garage doors, and it's like a vacuum. It just sucks the ball right down those corners. And that ball really looked like it had a chance to go out of the park. Take a look at this thing as it just slices outside the play there.
If that had not had that little slice on it. 1-strike pitch. Avery gets it in. Vinny Castilla out of Mexico, the 26-year-old. Played with the Atlanta Braves last season. 9 games. The big club. Most of it at AAA Richmond. And he's gone as Avery gets him. So Avery with a couple of strikeouts, but the 2-run homer by Chris Jones, and the Rockies are right back to within 2. Steve Avery stands in to try and start it off against Greg Harris. Harris will stay in the ball game. Obviously they had Blair up in case Harris was going to come to the plate in that last half inning. Since he did not, he comes back to the mound to face Avery. Avery grounded out his first time up. He's batting, as you see on the season, with those hits. Pretty good punch to that one, but it's in the yard. Young. Eric Young, the left fielder, hauls it in. 1 away in the 4th. Well, he's had bad inning, good inning, bad inning. What do we have this time around?
Well, the walks, you can see all 4 of those walks that he allowed came in to score. Walked Gant, Fred McGriff twice, and Dave Justice.
Munoz up in the bullpen. Otis Nixon at the plate. This is going to be a tough play. It's going to be a base hit. It's not a bunt, but it's the same darn result.
Once it gets by the pitcher, the second baseman has no play at all with Nixon and his great speed. Harris tries to flag it down. He can't make the play. Lariano, a desperation toss, not nearly in time.
Otis Nixon, for the 2nd time in this ball game, has an infield hit. First one was a bunt. He has 8 bunt singles and 30 infield hits now on the season. Hit number 5 for the Braves off Greg Harris. 1 down. Blauser is 0 for 2. Pitch out. Thought Nixon might be going. He's not. This ball game has all the ear markings of one of those games that just won't die. Joe Girardi, who throws him out at a 28% clip, a little below the average for catchers. Harris, as Buck said, holds him tight on the right field line, deep and foul.
You know, Gary, Joe Girardi missed 45 games this year. He had the hamate bone of his left hand removed surgically, and they're really pleased to have him back. I love the way he handles the pitching staff. He's a confident guy that really tries to work with his pitchers, and in the second half he's been able to do that much better. That's the old throw over sign. Let's see if he follows the instructions.
Quite a group of coaches we just had a look at over there. Ron Hassey is doing work with this ball club. He was a scout last year. Now he's back in uniform down on the field working with Don Baylor. Don Zimmer on the right. Mr. Baseball. What a help he's been for Baylor. 1-1. Baylor leans on him.
Yeah, he does.
Zimmer loves it.
44 years of baseball, you got to lean on him. He can help you with a lot of things as simple as making out the lineup cards, how you relate to your players, and what you have to do to call them in. Don Baylor also gives Joe Torre a lot of credit, because when Baylor was Torre's hitting instructor, he would ask him into his room anytime Torre had to make a move, call a guy in, tell him he was going back to AAA. That helped him a lot.
Nixon not going. Blauser, can they turn it this time? Lariano, Castilla, he's not going to drop that one. They got the double play. Same situation they had in the first inning when they didn't turn it. Took only 7 pitches to get this inning done. Atlanta up by 2.
Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. The Giants' Will Clark looking on, perhaps contemplating what's going on right at this moment at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Stage 2 of the great race later up tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time, or after we're through at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Will the Thrill hoping to give us some tonight. They're watching what's going on right now in Atlanta. Let's get back to it. Gary Thorne.
Tom, thank you very much. 6-4 ball game. Atlanta leading Colorado. And we'll have our first pinch hitter. Jim Tatum will hit for Greg Harris. So the Colorado starter is out of the game. Avery bounces that one, ball 1. Tatum, a 26-year-old out of San Diego, last season with Milwaukee. Had played only 5 major league games prior to this season, but he had 6 years of minor league baseball under his belt coming into this season. And Bucky has been quite the pinch hitter.
Well, he's got 65 pinch hit at bats. He's delivered 17 hits in those 65 at bats. He's homered and driven in 11 runs as a pinch hitter.
Smokey Burgess fouls that one back, and the count's at a ball and 2 strikes on Tatum.
Well, the next highest on the team is Darrell Boston with 35 at bats.
The other thing that tells you is how many times the starters came out of the game. That's the downside of that.
That's the negative aspect.
Avery's 1-2. Good breaking ball. That's the 3rd strikeout for Avery. Dusty Baker, a good friend of Don Baylor, the skipper at San Francisco. Baylor a chance to do a favor for his friend.
He knew what our record was against the Braves, and he said, just go down there and just win 2 out of 3 and help us out. That's a tall order for, you know, a pitching staff that you have to face, that we have to face.
Boy, would they like to do it. They're making a game out of this one. 6-4. Atlanta on top, 1 down here in the 5th inning. Nelson Lariano, the leadoff batter, is 0 for 2 off Avery. They're looking for the bunt at the corners as they sneak in on the pitch.
Lariano finished up AAA with a 21-game hit streak. He really came on with a bat, and they weren't going to call him up. It was only because Freddie Benavides suffered an ankle injury that they had to make an emergency call to Lariano. Fortunately for them, he was still in Colorado Springs and hadn't gone back home to the Dominican.
Wasn't Lariano in the original baseball game that was played either in Cooperstown or in Hoboken? Seems as though he's been around.
Been around forever.
Forever. 2-2 pitch. He is a great natural hitter. He has always been able to hit the baseball. It's why he's always had a career, at least at the AAA level, and he keeps getting moved around. Grounded towards the hole. He's got a base hit here. Nelson Lariano gets a 1-out single in the 5th inning. Played back in by Gant. 1 on, 1 down in the 5th.
Well, here's a guy that hit .371 in September. Let's take a look at his swing. He gets the fastball and rips it by Pendleton at third base. Good fluid extension. He's a switch hitter who's enjoying that surprise call-up with Colorado.
He's only 29 years old, but it's his 11th season of professional baseball. He had been with Toronto, Minnesota, Kansas City. Most of the time spent at the AAA level. I guess he's a journeyman.
Tell you one thing, he's gotten Don Baylor's attention.
Yeah. Joe Girardi drew a walk his last time up. He's got a 4-game hit streak, 7 hits in his last 15 at-bats. The pitch out, Lariano's not going. This game has all the tension marked on the face of Bobby Cox and the faces of the players that you could want in a great race in the final weekend of the season, with the division title still to be determined. Pretty amazing. You play 159 games, 2 teams win over 100, each with 101, and you still haven't got a division champion. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner not going. Girardi takes it down low, 2-1. Lines rolling on every pitch. Two-one count. Got that one to right field. Justice. Lariano halfway, goes back to the bag. 2 down in the 5th. Don't forget, on Monday, if there is going to be a playoff game for the National League Western Division Championship, you'll see it right here on ESPN, 10:30 Eastern and 7:30 Pacific. If that matchup occurs, there's what the teams have done, Atlanta, San Francisco, against one another this season. Just that close. This is downtown Atlanta, which is everywhere you go and everything you hear is about this ball club. Right field, Justice. Galarraga's retired. Justice has been busy out there. 6 fly balls already to right field. 1 single this inning, 1 left on. Atlanta still up by 2. Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. Gant, McGriff, and Justice due up, and they will be facing a new Colorado Rocky pitcher, Michael Munoz. So Greg Harris works 4 innings, 6 runs on 5 hits, struck out 2 and walked 4. Now the left-hander.
This has been his 19th game for Colorado. He pitched for the Tigers in '92. Colorado signed him after the Tigers released him.
Formerly with the Los Angeles Dodgers before joining the Detroit Tigers, and now with the Colorado Rockies. And he misses down low. Umpire in training.
No, that's a catcher, man.
Oh, that's a catcher. Well put. Munoz with a 2-0 delivery. And Gant chases.
Ronnie Gant's really been battling himself lately. Clarence Jones, a hitting instructor, has had him working extra in the cage underneath the stadium and an extra batting practice out here on the field, but he's really fighting the swing right now.
Gant pushes that one to right field. Pretty good wood. Near the warning track, Clark is there. And Gant is retired. 1 down in the 5th for the Braves.
There's Clarence Jones behind Bobby Cox. He's got quite a hitting club to work with here. And I tell you one thing, he agonizes just as much as those hitters when they go through a hitting slump.
More so sometimes, I think, because he has to do it for all of them. 1 down, and Fred McGriff. The outfielder's back up deep. That's why he connects on that swing, and watch it sail out of here. He has scored those 2 after getting on with those walks. This, of course, the launch pad. I like McGriff kind of ballpark he can really take advantage of, and he has. Fred McGriff batting .286 here in Atlanta since joining the team. 15 home runs here at Fulton County Stadium, 45 RBIs, and he's rocked it against the Rockies as well. 0-2 delivery to him. Munoz just missing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McGriff hitting .278 off left-handers with 8 home runs. He's done well against southpaws.
He's got such a good eye at the plate. He stays on that pitch.
This one down the other line, foul.
You know, I can remember back early on when McGriff was with the Blue Jays. Both Cecil Fielder and Fred McGriff were young first basemen coming up. Willie Upshaw was playing first base, and every day Cito Gaston, the now manager of the Blue Jays, would have McGriff and Cecil Fielder out to take batting practice. I guess those extra sessions paid some pretty big dividends.
Great pitch. Munoz, an off-speed breaking ball, pulled the string on it, and he strikes out McGriff. 2 down. David Justice coming to the plate. He had some concerns about facing these Colorado Rockies.
Well, we've won every game from Colorado this season, so you almost feel like they're due for one. And you, in the back of your mind, you're thinking that, you know, there's no way you're going to shut a team out the whole season. So some of those things are definitely on my mind.
Understandably so, I guess, if you believe in the law of averages. Bobby Cox said before the game, I don't.
Oh, boy. Yeah, he doesn't believe in any of that stuff.
So, of course, we can beat him 13 times.
And he knows he might have to.
Yeah. 2-0 the count. He wound up with a big cut, 2 balls and 1 strike. Steve Avery, the starter. He spent a lot of time sitting and watching while the Braves have mounted attacks, but Colorado's been able to come back. The home run by Chris Jones off him. Only the 14th he's given up this season, brought the Rockies to within 2. 2-2.
Boy, Munoz has got a good fastball tonight. Justice is way back in the hitting zone on that fastball. He can't square up on it. Now Munoz has him set up for that breaking ball they got McGriff on. A little 3/4 breaking pitch.
Wants the breaking ball again on the 2-2. Got him. Outside corner strike. And Justice becomes the second strikeout victim. Good job in the first inning work by Munoz. 5 complete here in Atlanta. There's your line score. With Atlanta leading, they had a 4-run lead before the 2-run homer by Jones in the 4th inning. Steve Avery goes to work. Hayes, Clark, and Jones due up here in the 6th. Charlie Hayes doubled and scored in the 2nd, reached on an error and scored in the 4th ahead of Jones. The other RBIs in this game picked up by Eric Young, a single, and Castillo with a single. Strike called. Hayes doesn't agree with that one. Dave Justice, 2 RBI single for the Braves in the 1st. 3-run homer by Terry Pendleton in the 3rd inning. The big blows thus far for Atlanta. Give him a little heat to look at. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now he can come back inside with the fastball. After giving up that home run to Clark on a changeup following the fastball, he can bust him inside again. Breaking ball inside gets him.
Not even close on that one. 4 strikeouts for Avery.
Instead of coming back with the changeup, he comes with a big breaking ball down and in. Big wild swing by Charlie Hayes, and it's the first time Hayes has been retired tonight.
And they get that leadoff man out of there. Avery with a walk and 4 strikeouts in the game. Gerald Clark has flied out to right field twice. Clark this season .279 off left-handers coming into the game with a couple of home runs. Right off the fists. Lemke. And with a night as cool as this is, he may have some bees buzzing on that one. 2 down. That hurt all the way up here.
Well, he really got that ball right in on his thumbs. Moving fastball. Cool night here in the South. Everybody bundled up.
2 down, nobody on, and Chris Jones. He delivered his 6th home run of the season in the 4th inning. Pulled the Rockies to within 2. Thanks to breaking ball down low. He'd had only 1 other hit in 12 at-bats against Avery prior to the home run. Fastball away. 2 balls, no strikes. The Colorado Rockies with 67 wins on the season. 92 losses. 3 more left to go. I was noting today, just thinking of, would you ever have believed at the start of the season, one of the things, would you ever have believed the Colorado Rockies would be winning more games than the Mets and Padres, and so would the Florida Marlins?
Now, particularly the way the Rockies got off to such a shaky start. There's a good changeup. Somebody walked into Don Baylor's office this afternoon and said, "Hey, Don, congratulations. You guys are really playing well." He says, "Yeah, we already got 67 wins."
Yeah. 3 balls, 2 strikes. But over 4 million fans turned out in Colorado as they set a new Major League attendance record at home. They have been seen now by almost 7.5 million people when you put together road and home games. 3-2 pitch, fouled off.
Chris Jones is having another good at bat. I mentioned that Clark hit the home run. Of course, it was Jones on a 2-2 changeup, down and out over the plate. He went down and got a pretty good pitch, and again he's having another good at bat against Avery.
Jones fighting it off right and left to hold the count at 3-2.
Gary, oftentimes when a hitter fouls off pitch after pitch, it gives him more confidence that he's hitting the best pitches that Avery has to offer. And as the at bat continues, the hitter gets more confident. Well, that time he just got a piece of it.
5th strikeout of the ball game for Avery, and that was his 100th pitch as he retires the side in order in the 6th. In the 3rd inning with McGriff and Justice Hemingway walked, Terry Pendleton delivered this drive. It's 4-0-2 to straightaway center, and he got all of that and a little more. 4 RBI game for Terry Pendleton, and as Buck said, you go to the veteran, he produces.
Well, you know, Gary, everybody this week has been pressing a little bit, and Terry Pendleton stepped up and said, "Don't worry, folks, let me take over," and he's delivered tonight. Another thing that has been the big key for them tonight is the way Avery has got himself settled down, because the Braves bullpen has had a pretty rough go of it. You look back to the Astros 3 games, they gave up 13 hits in 9 in the 3rd innings, and they have had a rocky time. So Avery has really gotten himself straightened out and pitching very well here in the middle of the ball game.
Only 1 walk and 5 strikeouts for Steve Avery at home, where the fans are hoping that lead will hold up, and the Giants waiting on the West Coast are hoping Colorado can come back. Terry Pendleton will lead it off in the bottom of the 6th inning. RBI single in the 1st inning, 3-run homer in the 4th. Munoz is out of the ball game, and Willie Blair has come on. This is the 3rd Rockies pitcher. He's been up in the pen a couple of times. Right-hander gets it in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Larry Bernard has had Willie Blair start for them. He's made 18 starts, and now he's back in the bullpen. Another strong-armed right-hander that has had problems with his control from time to time. Boy, how about everybody panicking with Terry Pendleton getting off to a slow start? And those numbers just kept creeping up, and he's put together a solid year.
Quietly done. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Pendleton. Bobby Cox cheerleading almost silently sometimes.
And other times not so silently.
Yeah. Sometimes very aggressive about it. Terry Pendleton, 272 at home this season with 8 home runs. 9 home runs now hit here. He'll go down. Girardi will try and get him. Gets it to Galarraga. Strikeout and a put out. Blair gets the K, and there's one away here in the 6th inning. Believe it or not, National Hockey League is ready to go at it, and ESPN will kick off its coverage of the 93-94 NHL season with a great rivalry taking place, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers, Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Kevin Stevens back in action, and Eric Lindros in his 2nd season. We open it up on Tuesday night from Philadelphia. 6-4 ball game here. Barry Hill is 0 for 2. The Braves getting 3 in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd. This ball misses away. Munoz came on and worked an inning, struck out 2, retired all 3 he faced following Harris. Now Blair. Colorado's going to throw everything and anything necessary in this 3-game series to try and come away with a W. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Berryhill.
Well, Don Baylor has seen a real dramatic improvement in his bullpen work here in the 2nd half of the season. They have really turned it around. Blair overpowers Berryhill with a fastball. 2nd strikeout, 4 in a row now for the Rockies.
They're shutting them down right now. 2 down here in the 6th inning. 2 strikeouts for Munoz to end the 5th. 2 strikeouts for Blair to start the 6th. 2 down, bases empty, and Lemke coming up. Lemke's gone 0 for 2 in this game. And the fans a little quiet, and the scene a little more pensive. Just a 2-run differential, and we are in the 6th. Hayes moves in at 3rd base on Lemke. Missed the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball he was taking at that time. 2-1. Lemke asking Girardi about where the pitch was, I think. They're waiting. It may be a sign of something that carries over to the Braves themselves. I'm not sure whether it flows from the field to the stands or the stands to the field. There's not that self-assuredness here that you sensed the last couple of seasons in crunch situations.
No, right now this is a club that's pretty concerned about the Giants. And you say, well, we need somebody to beat the Giants. That's really not the case.
No, they win them all. They don't have to worry about the Giants. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Blair off the fist. Lemke hauled in by Hayes. Trying to go a little deep since he'd moved in, and a 1-2-3 inning retired there. 2nd half of our doubleheader will be coming up. Dodger Stadium with the San Francisco Giants, and Barry Bonds will be taking on the Dodgers. That's next on ESPN. Neon tomahawks and all. Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. Colorado Rockies down by 2. We go to the 7th inning. Young, Castilla, and then the pitcher due up. Steve Avery's gone the distance for the Braves. He's retired the last 5 that he's faced. Young had a single and an RBI in the 2nd inning. Flied out to right in the 4th. Colorado, they've played the 3rd best baseball in the National League since August 8th. That's how tough they've been. Lemke gets Young, 1 away in the 7th inning. They're a team to be contended with, but right now Avery's doing it.
Well, they needed a start like this from Steve Avery tonight. Last night, John Smoltz was chased after 4 innings. Last 3 games, the Braves bullpen, as I was mentioning, 9 1/3 innings, 13 hits, 6 walks, 7 earned runs. So they would just as soon not go down to that bullpen here in the middle innings. I'm pretty confident of Bedrosian and Jay Howell and Greg McMichael. But they'll save them till a little bit later. Bedrosian's had a big year for Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach.
He's got that rocking chair going again. Popped up on the mound. Let's see if they get this one. Castilla's retired as Berryhill hauls it in. 2 down in the 7th. That one stayed in foul territory. Kent Bottomfield and Steve Reed in the Colorado bullpen. They've been warming up for this inning because we're going to get another pinch hitter. Blair scheduled up the pitcher. Eric Wedge is announced as the pinch hitter. Well, the Rockies aren't going to hold anything back here.
You can see those numbers. Eric Wedge had surgery on his elbow way back in the off season. As a pinch hitter, 2 for 6 for Don Baylor.
Steve Avery misses on the first one. Ball 1. Wedge chasing the high heat that time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wedge has got some big time power. He came up and played 27 games last year with the Red Sox and hit 5 home runs.
One delivery to him. Off speed on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great changeup.
Well, that's the key to Avery's game. If he can get that pitch over, everything else is just a bit better.
1-2 count. That time he misses down low.
The way that Avery changes speeds makes you forget that he's just 23 years old. He pitches like a seasoned veteran, changing speeds, making sure he pays attention to the hitters and their swings.
Went 11-11 last year, but had no run support. Breaking ball. Did he go? Yes, he did. Home plate umpire Brian Gorman making that call. Avery is now retired. The last 8 protecting the lead. Stretch time in Atlanta. It continues right here on ESPN. First half of our doubleheader, the Atlanta Braves, who are tied for first with the team you'll see in the second game tonight, the San Francisco Giants taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers, both of them right here on ESPN. Final weekend of the '93 season. Atlanta leading 6-4. Bottom of the 7th inning, and we'll see our 4th Colorado pitcher.
Well, Steve Reed comes on here to work the 7th inning. 9-5 out of the bullpen, 3 saves. This will be his 64th game of the year. Pretty good hits to innings pitched ratio. Sinker slider changeup from the sidearm.
The 27-year-old comes on after Willie Blair worked an inning, struck out 2, retired the side in order. Steve Avery, the opposing pitcher, fouls it off. Avery's 0 for 2.
Reed came out of the Giants organization. He was picked up in the expansion draft.
Atlanta's going to be thinking right now, Buck, wait a minute. This is the 7th inning, and we've got a 2-run lead. Nice to have a 2-run lead, but wait a minute. We're supposed to be up by, 4 or 5.
And these are the Rockies.
Remember, they had outscored this team 2-1 in 10 games. Atlanta's won all 10 games against Colorado this year. It was David Justice who said, law of averages. Avery, left center field. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight. Hauled in by Young. Avery's retired. Second time he's flied out and sent Young back in left field. 1 down. Came from a team, gave its prime players away. Fred McGriff wants to go again. Postseason play. Bobby Cox 2 years in a row. They won the National League title. Unable to get by Minnesota. Unable to get by Toronto. David Justice, probably the most poignant comment of all. Buck was talking to him. We've got to win the World Series.
Yeah, he didn't say get back to the World Series. He said win the World Series, and that was their goal. They set out on a mission way back in spring training, and they fell behind the Giants, and there were some people that panicked, but the Brave players remained confident and just kept plodding along.
Don Scherholz, their GM, certainly has done the job of getting people here. McGriff trade. Just a great one. Maddox. You get a Cy Young Award winner to a staff that already was considered the best in the league.
Yeah, some people felt that was overkill, but it hasn't worked out that way.
Nixon going for 135 feet in attained hits tonight. He's had 130 so far. He's picked up 2 hits. Fouls that one off down the left field line. He dragged one down the first base line for a bunt single, and then he rolled one just by the pitcher to second and picked up another single in the 4th. 2 for 3.
Well, he's got that short game working tonight.
Yeah. Hits with a pitching wedge. Two count. Full house. Steve Reed outside with that one. As you can see, Reed drops down. Gives you a different look. Which generally for the left-handed hitter means you get a long look at the baseball. 3-2 delivery. He got the walk. So Otis Nixon is on for the 3rd time in this ball game. First time via the walk. Comes with 1 out here in the 7th inning. 1 on. Any added runs at this point would be mucho important for the Atlanta Braves.
Quick throw to first base. You know, now Girardi, with Reed on the mound, has to be patient enough to wait for that ball to sink. You've got to really wait back and make sure you don't come out of the chute too soon, and that ball will move on you and catch you on the heel of the glove. So you can't get over anxious.
Nixon faking the go. He wanted to draw the throw and did. He took that half step towards second base.
The catcher naturally is going to want to be quick coming out of the chute with Nixon at first base, but with Reed and all the movement that he offers, Girardi has to make sure he's nice and patient and waits for that ball to get in his glove.
Blauser waiting at the plate. Missed inside, ball 1. Blauser's been involved in key situations tonight. Fielder's choice in the first inning, what could have been a double play, ended up on, scored 1 of the 3. Was a strikeout victim in the second, came up in the 4th with Nixon on and hit into a double play. If he can keep it alive, the guns are waiting. Gant on deck. 1-0, took something off that and missed up high. 2-0.
Well, Reed's pitched very well lately. He picked up his 9th win against the Giants on Wednesday when he came into the ball game with the bases loaded and got Matt Williams to hit into an inning-ending double play. That preserved a 4-1 lead at the time. So he's used to these situations, and he's performed well second half of the season.
Quick throw drawn. Nixon goes back in, standing up. Say goodbye to a couple of old friends this weekend. Cleveland Stadium, Texas Stadium in Arlington. Thought it's kind of nice in both situations. They've selected or are going to select a fan to turn out the lights after the final pitch. Check swing, and it's fouled off down the right field line. New ballpark's going up downtown Cleveland, and right next to the current Arlington Stadium will be the new Ranger ballpark. And a new ballpark's going to be coming in here. Atlanta's got a new one going up across the street.
Right after the Olympics, they'll move in. Another old friend we're saying goodbye to is George Brett, who retired and is right on top of things, going out in style. And I wish him all the best.
What a class act. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nixon diving back this time. 2-1 the count, 1 away. Bottom half of the 7th inning, the Braves have a 6-4 lead. Dead even tie with the San Francisco Giants. The National League Western Division race to be decided either in the final weekend or in a playoff game on Monday. Nixon's caught off. Galarraga. Don't try and chase him down. He got him. A little tit for tat. Pick off. Girardi got picked off in the third inning for Colorado. This time Reed picks off Nixon.
Well, Reed just outweighted Otis Nixon, and Otis couldn't wait any longer. Look at him break, and Reed steps off and fires over to Galarraga. Now the big cat fakes one time, and then Otis stops, and he's easy picking. Otis just got over anxious and couldn't wait any longer. Broke for second, and then they picked him off and erase him off the bases.
Blauser to short. Vinny Castilla, the long throw, shows the good arm. And Blauser is retired, and the Rockies are not going easily. We go to the 8th inning. 6-4. Atlanta on top. There's the line score. Avery's gone the distance. Top of the order, Nelson Lariano. Lariano popped it up. Barry Hill back. Not enough run. 2-strike count. Top of the order, Nelson Lariano. Avery has retired the last 8 batters he's faced since Lariano picked up the single in the 5th. This ball game is worthy of the pennant race. Rockies are hanging tough.
Greg McMichael starts to throw for Bobby Cox down and in a bullpen, and he has been outstanding in the second half of the season.
Chase Teat fouls it off. Count remains 1-2.
That's what the bullpen has done in the last 3 games. McMichael closed out the game against the Astros on Wednesday.
So Bedrosian sitting on the bench. What a season he has had, unexpectedly really, for this team, the old bedrock. Avery working in a hurry, misses down low. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Nelson Lariano. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Avery going for his 18th win of the season, trying to pick up his first against Colorado. Lariano trying to get on here, fouls it off. The big inning obviously here, the top of the order up. Colorado wants to get one of these table setters on. Try and set it up for one of their guns who can deliver the long ball. Girardi waiting on deck. 3-2. They got him on. Just the second walk of the game, and Avery's not happy about that. He had walked Girardi in the 3rd. This is a lead-off walk in the 8th inning. Hang on, Giants. Girardi 0 for 2 and a walk. Pendleton even with a bag at 3rd. Will he bunt? No. Base hit? No. Cut off. Blauser. Great play. Jeff Blauser.
Well, Bobby Cox has been raving about Jeff Blauser all year long, and he'll have high praise for this play. It looked like a base hit in the hole toward left. Take a look at Girardi's swing. He pulls it into the hole. Blauser with the backhand, and then he fires a strike to Lemke, who stretches out to help him out. Lariano's forced at second, and that looked like a base hit.
There is a huge play in the race in the National League West. Let's see how this plays out in the inning. Instead of first and second and nobody out, Girardi's on at first in the fielder's choice, and Andres Galarraga, who's 0 for 3. Fouls it off down the right field line. Justice, the long run in the bullpen, can't get to it.
Gary Avery still has a lot on his fastball. Galarraga, although he hits the ball all over the park, still can't get around on that fastball. Galarraga has not fared well against Steve Avery coming into this game tonight. He was hitting just .250, and in this ball game he is 0 for 3.
3 for 15 now in his career against Avery. Left-hander comes into the kitchen a bit. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is tense time in this race. Here are the big bats for the Colorado Rockies. Galarraga, Hayes, Clark. The 23-year-old left-hander, the runner at first and 1 out, works 2-1. There is that changeup.
And that's what I mean about the poise of Avery. 2-1 with the batting champ at the plate. He comes with a changeup and has him way out in front. Perfect location, great arm action, and watch how Galarraga is out in front of it. He kept his head on it, but he was still out in front of the off-speed pitch.
2-2 delivery by Avery. Bounces. No movement by Girardi, who stays at first. Avery's taking it full on Galarraga. Is there some pacing going on? Mazzoni's rocking.
Leo Mazzoni hasn't been still for a week.
Jim Beecham's pacing. Bobby Cox is bumping into him. He's ready if needed. Runner goes. Struck him out. Chance for the double play. They got it. Damon Berryhill. With Joe Girardi running. Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play. A big defensive inning for the Atlanta Braves. Andres Galarraga at the plate. Joe Girardi's off and going. Strike him out. Berryhill throw him out. Is this a pennant race, Steve Avery? What you play for, isn't it?
Now they got a big boost from Jeff Blauser's play in the hole to get the force out at second. Clarence Jones doing a little coaching mid-game here with Damon Berryhill. Talking about get that ball inside. That's the one you want.
Steve Reed working his second inning of relief. Ron Gant takes it inside for a ball. We have not had a hit in this game since the 5th inning by either team. In what looked like it was going to be a slugfest. It's been a pitcher's duel with Avery working against the pen of the Colorado Rockies. 2 balls, no strikes on Gant.
Well, I can see why the Rockies are encouraged by this bullpen here late in the year. This is a pretty good hitting Braves lineup, and they have throttled them.
Tried to go outside and missed it. 3 balls, no strikes.
Three innings of no-hit ball. Munoz, Blair, and now Reed.
Just laid it in. 3 balls and 1 strike. Great job by Baylor's bullpen. Buck said that's what's turned this team around and gave them a 17-9 September. As we said, the 3rd best record in the league since August 8th. Base hit. The Ron Gant leads off the bottom of the 8th inning with a single. The 2-run differential with the Braves on top. Any added runs become vitally important here. Coming up next, we'll take you to Dodger Stadium. The San Francisco Giants, who are tied with the Braves. Burkett, after his 22nd, Ramon Martinez will be going for the Dodgers in Game 2 of that 4-game series. That's going to do it for Reed. Bruce Ruffin, the left-hander, is coming on, the 5th Colorado pitcher to face McGriff. ESPN's Major League Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. And by MetLife. Get Met. It pays. Gary Thorne, Buck Martinez. Fred McGriff against left-hander Bruce Ruffin. Gant at first, nobody out. Strike 1.
Donnie Baylor playing matchup baseball here. He brings Ruffin in for his 58th game of the season against Fred McGriff. McGriff is 0 for 8 against Bruce Ruffin.
2 walks, 2 runs scored, and a strikeout in this game for McGriff. Ruffin keeps it down low, goes ahead on the count 0-2. Gant, not a big lead at first. He didn't miss by much on that one. So much so that McGriff Made sure he didn't turn around and look at home plate umpire Brian Gorman. He wanted to, but he didn't. McGriff hitting .278 off left-handers this year. 1-2 the count. And this time it's Girardi who wants it checked. Larry Poncino, third base umpire, says no. 2-2. Jimmy Williams, third base coach.
Well, Ronnie Gant's got base stealing speed, 24. He wants to throw. That's what he was doing, draw the throw over there. Ruffin has really turned it around here since he's gone down to the bullpen for Colorado. Tommy Baylor very pleased with the way Ruffin has performed.
Left-hander's pitch, and he got him again. He's 0 for 9 against Ruffin. The strikeout is the first out here in the 8th.
It's that big sweeping breaking ball down and away from McGriff, and he just can't lay off of it. Ruffin throws it with such tight spin that McGriff could never really detect that it was a breaking ball. Chased it out of the strike zone.
David Justice will take a shot at him. Justice has gone 4 for 14 with 1 home run off Ruffin in his career. These Braves have seen Bruce Ruffin as a starter and a reliever with Philadelphia. They've had pretty good look-sees off him. Ruffin now 29 years old. Buck and I were talking as he was coming on. This guy so often has looked like, ooh, there's a star.
When he first came up with Philadelphia, he had a lot of that. Looked like he was just going to ride a long career. He had an outstanding sinker ball. Every time he threw the ball, it was a ground ball in the infield.
Never got over the hump entirely. Enough to certainly be in the major leagues. Gant with the lead. 1-0 count, 1 down. Justice takes it high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Atlanta leads it 6-4. A victory here would move them a half game ahead of the Giants into first place, depending on the outcome of the Giant-Dodger game, which you're going to see on ESPN next. That was a fan sign. 2-0 delivery. Took something off it, and David Justice was out in front of it. 2-1. Second half of our doubleheader. Dodger Stadium, the San Francisco Giants in game 2 of their 4-game series to end the season. Burkett going after his 22nd. Ramon Martinez, and that great rivalry means so much in this final weekend. 2-1. And then came back with a pitch as hard as he can throw it. 2-2.
Yeah, he went with the cross-seamer that time, and take a look at the swing by Justice. Out and away from him. Justice actually hits better against left-handed pitchers than he does right-handers. He doesn't try to do so much with the ball.
Hitting .297 off left-handers. Gant goes back to the bag. .285 against the righties. There's Terry Pendleton waiting on deck.
Well, he's done all the damage tonight. He's driven in 4 runs with a 3-run homer and a single.
2-2 count, 1 away. Gant's running. Bounced. Gant makes the turn. Can go to third. He's going to. There'll be no play. A stolen base and a wild pitch. Oh, that could prove to be a huge play. Ron Gant was off and running. He picks up his 25th stolen base.
He gets a good jump at first base, but it's a breaking ball in the dirt. Girardi can't glove it. It goes off his glove all the way over to the wall. And by this time, Ron Gant moves into third base. So scored a stolen base, number 25, and then he goes to third on the wild pitch. Now the infield will have to come in and play it in.
The leading RBI man in the National League, a chance for another one. Justice is on with a walk. Two on, 1 out. Braves leading 6-4, bottom of the 8th. Terry Pendleton's got a chance to have a huge ball game. 4 RBIs, a home run, an RBI single. He's got 2 on here. Ron Gant at third, started the inning off with a single, and Justice has drawn the walk. Pendleton, a .298 career hitter off Bruce Ruffin. He's roughed him up pretty good. Down to third, great stop. Hayes gonna go to the plate. Gant diving is safe. He got around Girardi.
What a great slide Ronnie Gant made on the play at the plate. Take a look at the play by Hayes. Outstanding. He has but one play, and that's to the plate. Gant knows he's coming to the plate, but watch the slide. He takes his hand away and then tucks it right back in there. What a beautiful slide by Ron Gant. Watch Bobby Cox. Safe. He helps the umpire out. Gant knew there was going to be a close play. Had his hand out there, but then took it away from Girardi and then stuck it back over just in time to touch the plate.
A huge run, a fielder's choice, and another RBI for Terry Pendleton. 2 on. Damon Berryhill. A 7-4 lead. Another run added here in the 8th. Terry Pendleton, 5 RBIs in this game. Probably would have had another one, but for that diving stop made by Hayes at third base. Well, that would have been down the line. Hit in the air to right field. Clark moving over. Runners tagging up. Berryhill's retired. Down to third base goes David Justice. 2 down. Seven to 4. The Braves on top.
Gary, you just can't teach those type of instincts to players like Ron Gant showed us when he came home. He saw Girardi had a good position on home plate, had his hand out, drew it back, and then reached back and got the plate as he slid by Girardi.
Gant has now scored 112 runs this season, third most in the league behind Dykstra and Bonds. 2 of those have come tonight. Mark Lemke will try and add to it. First and third, 2 away. His 5 RBIs are a season high for Terry Pendleton for a single game. He got a lot of help from Ron Gant on that last one. Turns it over on him. Strike 2 on Lemke. Terry Pendleton, single in the first, home run, RBI fielder's choice. Ron Gant scored in the first, scores here in the 8th. A little less tense, 7-4, bottom of the 8th. Bruce Ruffin with the 0-2 delivery. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Gary, that's an aspect of the Braves game that really allows them to manufacture runs. Gant was running for the stolen base, moves to third base on the wild pitch, and then scores on a ground ball to third. Speed doesn't slump.
It's always there. 1-2 delivery by Ruffin, and he struck him out. But more damage done as a run is scored here in the 8th inning. It'll be charged to Steve Reed. Hayes made the great stop. Look at the slide. Picked his arm up, reached around. I'm safe. Thank you very much. 9th inning. Avery went 8. 4 runs, 3 earned on 5 hits, walked 2, and struck out 7.
Well, the closer for the Braves here, Greg McMichael comes on. This is 73rd game, 17 saves and 19 opportunities.
The Colorado Rockies down by 3. They have Hayes, Clark, and Jones due up here in the top of the 9th inning. McMichael's delivery missed up high. 2 balls, no strikes. Big difference now, of course, that run in the 8th. You get 1 man on and the 2-run lead. You got that tying run at the plate. Now you got to get 2 on. And he's trying to get on. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, there's the man, Terry Pendleton, with a season-high 5 RBIs tonight. Ronnie Gant scored on a great slide at home.
Got the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hayes, whose double came in the 2nd. 2-run homer by Chris Jones. RBI singles by Young and Castilla, accounting for the 4 RBIs of the Colorado Rockies. The Braves trying to beat them for the 11th straight time this season. The matchups: Greg Maddux going for his 20th tomorrow against Armando Reynoso. Sunday, Tommy Glavine for his 22nd against David Need, a former prospect for Atlanta. Strike 3 called. One down in the 9th.
Greg McMichael comes with a fastball. Just enough movement to bring it back over the outside corner. Charlie Hayes doesn't think that. But it's 1 out in the 9th for McMichael.
Clark 0 for 3. Couple of fly ball outs. Grounded out the 2nd. McMichael right after him. 48,968 here in Atlanta. 0-1 delivery. Fouls it off. 0-2.
Well, on Wednesday night, when McMichael saved the game against the Astros, he pitched as if he were in a scoreless tie. He had a 3-run lead, and Bobby Cox was somewhat concerned that he was pitching so carefully.
Not done yet. Base hit picked up by Clark as McMichael got it up in the strike zone. There is the first hit since the 5th inning for the Colorado Rockies. 1 on, 1 down in the 9th. And a little conference at the mound as McGriff moves over. Darrell Boston out in the on-deck circle is standing in. Pendleton over to make sure McMichael knows that, and so is Damon Berryhill out there for that reason.
Yeah, Terry Pendleton will listen in on the meeting between Berryhill and the pitcher Greg McMichael as they go over the pinch hitter Darrell Boston. Darrell Boston, a very good low ball hitter. He had a home run against the Giants this week. Last week, actually.
9 for 35 as a pinch hitter with that 1 pinch hit home run. Boston, 1 down, runner at first. Inside corner strike by McMichael. We do want to let you know here in the greatness of this final inning, the Atlanta Braves announced tonight all of their coaching staff has been rehired. Everybody's coming back with Bobby Cox next season. 0-1 pitch towards the mound. Will this end it? McMichael, that's one. Relay! Game's over. Terry Pendleton, a 5 RBI game. The Atlanta Braves are back in first place by a half game.
Well, when the Braves needed the job done, they go to the old veteran Terry Pendleton. Ronnie Gant scored a big run late in the ball game, but it was Pendleton with his 5 RBI that really boosted the offense tonight. Don't forget about the fine start of Steve Avery, who pitched them into the 9th inning tonight. 8 strong innings from Avery with 7 strikeouts.
Avery's now 18-6. Atlanta for the moment a half game up on San Francisco as the Giants yet to come in the second half of our doubleheader will be taking on the Dodgers. Terry Pendleton in the 3rd inning. His 17th home run coming off Greg Harris driving in. McGriff and Justice ahead of him. Harris couldn't believe it. He tried to come after him with a fastball straight away center field, about 410 feet away on the home run. Ron Gantz, great effort. The knockdown by Hayes on Pendleton's shot. Tried to make the play at the plate, had to put the tag on. Gant went right around with his hand. Magnificent play, that he was conscious enough to be able to do that and score that run in the 8th. Avery says that's what it's all about. He's 18-6 on the season, his first win ever against the Colorado Rockies. Now can the Giants get their victory to maintain the tie? We'll see what's going to happen. Buck Martinez, great to be with you. This is Gary Thorne. There's our final.